Remember that show, Kids Say the Darndest Things? Boy, I remember watching that years ago, and it was probably one of the funniest things I had ever seen. And it really made you think about those conversations that you and your wife were having around your kids, because just when you think that it was private, well, next thing you know, you're getting a call from the school going, "Hey, would you mind coming in? We want to have a conversation for a few minutes." Well, today we're flipping the script. Welcome to the Retirement Confession Booth, where our seasoned citizens spill the beans on retirement's unexpected twists and turns. From hilarious mishaps to heartfelt revelations, get ready for stories that are enlightening as well as entertaining. Because not only do kids say the darndest things, but one thing you're going to learn, retirees don't have filters, so they say some of the darndest things. I envisioned retirement as a never-ending holiday, and I think most of us do. We think we work our entire lives, only so at the end we can just go party. We could go on a cruise ship and cruise forever. And the ironic thing is, today you can get on 1-year cruises. Isn't that amazing to think that, you don't have to do it. You don't have to check the 5 or 7 day box. You can check the 30-day box or 365-day box, and you can go party. But I don't think the alcohol is going to be free for the entire trip. Turns out my most frequent destination today is the doctor's office. Well, and there's not much comedy to be found there. So let's talk about funny. Many retirees anticipate a life of leisure, not only to find that health appointments and daily routines take center on their lives, but it's sort of a humorous reminder that retirement isn't always as glamorous as imagined. I don't think we can stay on the cruise ship for 365 days a year. Well, here I'm going to talk about the first one. We're going to call this the DIY disaster. So here's a retiree who wrote in and said, "I decided to take up woodworking. Those Home Depot courses where you can walk in on a Saturday and learn how to build a birdhouse? Well, that birdhouse, even the birds refused to enter. So retirement, sometimes offers the chance to explore new hobbies, but not every endeavor is a soaring success. Embracing the learning curve can lead to unexpected joy and laughters. We love to build things, but sometimes we're not builders." All right, so another reader wrote in and said that he asked his grandson to help him set up a FaceTime. Now, all he wanted to do was FaceTime his daughter. And the funny thing was, he wrote, I had to summarize all these. He ended up with a Facebook account and a date with someone named Tamia. Navigating technology can be a comedy adventure for retirees. These stories highlight the generation gap and the humorous situations that arise from it. And I think nothing arises from it more when I see my dad, commenting on something in the family with an emoji that's crying. And not an emoji that's laughing, an emoji that's crying when it was supposed to be laughing. And today, technology is the key. But my father decides that he's not going to type on the phone anymore. And I get it. His hands shake really bad. And he really wants to communicate. So he talks to the phone. And let me tell you, some of the things he says, my wife hands me the phone and says, "I can't believe your father said this to me." All right, moving along. The unexpected roommate. Another reader wrote into us and said, "I thought I'd have the house to myself. Quiet, beautiful, and if I wanted to build a naked room, I was going to build a naked room. But no, my adult son, 38, is back, and he brought his band. He said, Dad, can I store some of my stuff in your garage too? It's just temporary. I lost my job. They're slimming down. I'll find a new job here shortly. Next thing you know, retirement is even louder than I ever imagined. He's got 6 people in the garage, and my neighbors are calling day and night going, "What is that noise?" Well, the dynamics of retirement can shift, with family changes. I know so many retirees where their kids have moved back in. And, it's not just COVID where they're moving in because they got nowhere to go and the college kicked them out. They're moving back because they lose their jobs, they lose their wives, or they just need a refresher. Well, when I grew up, if I needed a refresher, I was going to be holding a shopping cart and a piece of cardboard at a signal. Well, these anecdotes shed light on the adaptability and resilience of retirees facing unexpected living arrangements. And, yesterday's show about tiny life is a really good idea because, if you've got a 3-bedroom, 3,000 square foot house, you're going to have house guests. But if you have a tiny home with a bed up on a loft, believe me, nobody but the grandkids is going to want to visit you. All right. Well, I hope you've had fun today. Retirement is a journey filled with surprises, challenges, and plenty of laughs. These confessions remind us that while the path may be unpredictable, it's the stories we collect along the way that make it fully memorable. Hey, and if you have your own story, please put it in the comments below. I would love to laugh along with you. Remember, you are the business, your life is the story, and your passion is the product. Thanks for watching Brett on the Go for Retirement Today. We'll see you next time. And when we take this on the road and drive into motorhome living, freedom on 4 wheels. See you next time.